Trump's a racist! Trump's a racist! Trump's a racist!
A well-educated black has a tremendous advantage over a well-educated white in terms of the job market. And I think sometimes a black may think that they don't really have the advantage or this or that, but in actuality, today, currently, it's a great, I've said on occasion, even about myself, if I was starting off today, I would love to be a well-educated black because I really believe they do have an actual advantage today.
I said, I believe I have more Indian blood in my veins than you have, and I have none.
They don't look like Indians to me, and they don't look like Indians to Indians. I would like to have him show his birth certificate. And can I be honest with you? I hope he can. Because if he can't, and if he wasn't born in this country, which is a real possibility, I'm not saying it happened, I'm saying it's a real possibility, much greater than I thought 2 or 3 weeks ago, then he has pulled one of the great cons in the history of politics.
Was it a birth certificate? You tell me. You know, some people say that was not his birth certificate. So maybe it was, maybe it wasn't.
You don't believe it was his birth certificate?
No, I don't know. I'm saying I don't know.
When Mexico sends its people, they're not sending their best. They're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists, and some, I assume, are good people. Negotiating with China. When these people walk in the room, they don't say, oh, hello, how's the weather? It's so beautiful outside. Isn't it lovely? How are the Yankees doing? Oh, they're doing wonderful, great. They say, we want deal.
Do you want to renegotiate deals? Some of us renegotiate deals. I would say about 99.9. Is there anybody that doesn't renegotiate deals in this room? This room negotiates. I want to renegotiate this room. Perhaps more than any room I've ever spoken to. Donald J. Trump is calling for a total and complete shutdown of Muslims entering the United States until our country's representatives can figure out what the hell is going on. Oh, look at my African American over here. Look at him. Are you the greatest? He's a Mexican. We're building a wall between here and Mexico. The answer is, he is giving us very unfair rulings that people can't even believe. This case should have ended years ago on summary judgment. Our inner cities, African Americans, Hispanics, are living in hell because it's so dangerous. You walk down the street, you get shot.
Are you going to include the CBC, Mr. President, in your conversations with your urban agenda, your inner city agenda, as well as...
Am I going to include
Are you going to include the Congressional Black Caucus and the Congressional
Hispanic
Caucus?
Well, I would. I tell you what, do you want to set up the meeting? Do you want to set up the meeting?
No.
Are they friends of yours?
I'm just a reporter.
I think there's blame on both sides. You look at both sides. I think there's blame on both sides, and I have no doubt about it, and you don't have any doubt about it either. You were here long before any of us were here, although we have a representative in Congress who they say was here a long time ago. They call her Pocahontas. But you know what? I like you, because you are special.
According to the New York Times, he complained that the 15,000 Haitian immigrants who received visas in 2017 all have AIDS. In that very same meeting, the Times reports, he said that once the 40,000 Nigerian immigrants given visas arrived in the U.S., they would never go back to their huts. The White House denies this report.
The Post reports that according to 2 people briefed in the meeting, the president asked, quote, why are we having all these people from shithole countries come here, referring to African countries and Haiti. The president then went on to talk about how they needed to bring in more people from places like Norway.
In a new and truly stunning attack on his former White House aide and former primetime co-star Omarosa Manigat-Newman, this is what the president just wrote. Quote, when you give a crazed, crying lowlife a break and give her a job at the White House, I guess it just didn't work out. Good work by General Kelly for quickly firing that dog. Now,
birtherism is racist. Saying a Mexican judge can't be fair because of his heritage is racist. Saying immigrants from Mexico are rapists is racist. Saying there were good people on both sides in Charlottesville is racist. Calling African countries shithole countries is racist. And telling 4 members of this body to go home is racist.
Gentleman will state his...
Do you think it's not racist?
Gentleman will state his point of order.
Do you think it's not
So
racist?
the gentleman will suspend. Gentleman will state
Is
his
that
point
what
of
you're saying right now, Mr. Collins?
Gentleman will suspend.
Mr. Collins, is it not racist to say these things? Because you can say that right now.
The gentleman from California is out of order. The gentleman from gentleman from California shall suspend. For what purpose does the gentleman from Georgia rise?
I make a point of order. The gentleman's words are unparliamentary, and I request they be taken down.
President Trump's words.
Not too much to ask for.
Yeah.
And it's a really inhumane, horrible thing to do, to say, I mean, like, you think it's so far in the past, but it's not. It's Donald Trump running for president who did this when he was younger. Well, not just his dad, as John pointed out, he did it himself in 1982. To say, no, even though you have nothing wrong with your record whatsoever, and you can afford this apartment, I don't rent the N-words. Jesus, man. Think about what kind of a bad person you have to be to do that. Again, that was Fred Trump who said those exact words. Now, Donald Trump, in the debate with Hillary Clinton, when she brought it up, said, no, like, he made it seem like there was a place to live. And so she went through this process and got the place to live. And she never asked for anything more than that. It's not too much to ask for.
Yeah.
And it's a really inhumane, horrible thing to do, to say, I mean, like, you think it's so far in the past, but it's not. It's Donald Trump running for president who did this when he was younger. Well, not just his dad, as John pointed out, he did it himself in 1982. To say, no, even though you have nothing wrong with your record whatsoever, and you can afford this apartment, I don't rent the N-words. Jesus, man. Think about what kind of a bad person you have to be to do that. Again, that was Fred Trump who said those exact words. Now, Donald Trump, in the debate with Hillary Clinton, when she brought it up, said, no, like, he made it seem like there was hundreds of people sued, hundreds of landlords sued all across the nation. No, it was Trump and 8 other landlords in New York. That's not hundreds.
In the second case, not in the earlier one, where it was literally just them.
Yeah. So, no, it was a limited group of people who did this systematically, and you guys were the ones at fault, and that's why you were sued. And in fact, to me, the third thing is the most important. 3 years later, they still wouldn't do it. Like, they can't. Yeah. They got the decree. They know that they were wrong. They know, like, they were caught. And he's like, nope. Under no circumstances are we going to let qualified black people live in our apartments.
Yeah.
And look, for you guys who don't live in it, it's so hard for you to understand, as it was hard for me to understand all these years what African Americans had to go through in this country and have to go through in this country right now. So again, this is not that long ago. We're not talking about slavery. We're not talking about, Jim Crow, right? This guy's running for president today. He made these decisions. So I remember this story that really strikes me. I keep remembering it, where one guy, just on an unrelated story, said, "Oh, no, I'm not racist. I even let black people use my bathroom." See, that's the mindset that you might not understand because you don't think that way, and I don't think that way. But like, when I heard that, I was like, what on God's green earth are you talking about? Why wouldn't you let them? Because they're contaminated. That's why you can't let them use the bathroom, because white people might use that bathroom later, and you can't let them live in your housing apartment because it's going to contaminate the good white folks who live there. That's the kind of guy Donald Trump is. That's why this is not a close contest.
And many Americans still are.
Yeah, and that's why maybe they get called a basket of deplorables, right? So this is not a close contest. You could have a lot of opinions about Hillary Clinton, and boy, do I have them. Just watch the show, right? And a lot of issues and systemic problems. But you're going to put this guy in charge of the country? Hell no. You know what I don't want? I don't want him contaminating the White House.
Mr. Trump is a racist. The country has seen Mr. Trump court white supremacists and bigots. You have heard him call poorer countries shitholes. In private, he is even worse. He once asked me if I could name a country run by a black person that wasn't a shithole. This was when Barack Obama was president of the United States. And while we were once driving through a struggling neighborhood in Chicago, he commented that only black people could live that way. And he told me that black people would never vote for him because they were too stupid. And yet, I continue to work for him.
Possibly go wrong. I don't know how many of you watching this tonight, are mourning the illness and potential demise of the Republican Party as an institution. I understand. But if we are going to stay a democracy with a two-party system, there do need to be two parties of some kind, or we're not that kind of system anymore. We're going to have to develop into something else. I mean, right now, what we are very fast becoming is one party on one side and just a guy on the other. A guy who, this week, is going before a United States Supreme Court that is going to decide if maybe he might be ineligible to ever hold federal office ever again. What do you call that kind of a system? What could possibly go wrong?
Hello friends, we come to the end really. Have you subscribed yet? Yes, press the subscribe button and the like button and the share button. Thank you and have a nice day.